What's the resolution on the city council agenda for Monday? What's that about? The housed and the unhoused, dealing with the unhoused?
Oh, well, the resolution, if you wanted more information, came from Councilman Joe Solomon. You'd have to ask him the purpose of it. But essentially, it's been put forth that that the city essentially has to, best way I can put it is he's created certain dates in which the city can enforce certain laws. Charleston Police Department's not to enforce certain laws, and frankly, talking to the Charleston Police Department, they're simply not going to do that. They're going to enforce the laws the way that they always enforce the laws. They're not going to change the way they do things because one city councilman thinks they should. So Charleston Police Department is adamantly against the resolution, and my guess is so will the rest of the city council, because you're going to be asking the police department to not do their job in a way where a lot of it is been sensationalized and not necessarily what actually occurred last year.
I mean, last year there was a quote-unquote warrant search at city parks after a warrant sweep, and numerous people that were unhoused were arrested. Does the city have any comment on, do they plan to do that again?
So that wasn't a plan of last year. So last year, the Charleston Police Department on a regular basis goes out and picks up people who have warrants. And then sometimes in doing that process, when they find one person they're looking for, they might find other people who have warrants as well. And it's their job to enforce that. So there wasn't anything that was overly planned last year, and there's nothing that's planned this year for that. If somebody is seen and they are known to have a warrant, then the police department's going to do their job regardless.
It wasn't a targeted enforcement thing last year, and you have no plans for that this year as well?
Well, it wasn't last year. Charleston Police Department does not do targeted enforcement unless it is specifically related to something they're working on with the federal task force that relates to drugs. But they enforce the law equally amongst all individuals in our town, and they're going to continue to do the same thing moving forward. And that's their plan. I'm not sure where the resolution originated. I know that the leadership of the police department did talk to Councilman Solomon and shared their concerns and shared their displeasure with some of the accusations and the idea of it, and we'll do so, I'm sure, on Monday as well.
Well, you can obviously see a lot of the public believe that this was targeted because it came just days before the regatta, which is one of Charleston's biggest events. What do you have to say to the public that still believe that this was?
Well, I mean, frankly, I don't know that a lot of the public does believe that. I mean, I think that there were some people who did, but we work with our social service agencies and our care team all the time to help individuals who are unhoused and who need our help. So, you could say, somebody might be able to say, well, we did this, but they're not mentioning the fact that our care team and the Canal Valley Collective were out weeks prior to the regatta and during the regatta helping people get services. That is something that is targeted and is necessary to help people get what they need. They seem to want to tell one side of the story without talking about the other side, which is making sure that people get the help that they need. We started a 9-person care team to help to work with these problems, but the police department can't just ignore what is going on when they're aware of something. So they have to do their jobs at all times, and then at the same time, our care office also does their job, and they work very closely in coordination. Just the other day, the police department got a call on an individual, and as opposed to just straight up arresting them and sending them to jail, they worked with our care team to make sure that they got the resources they need. We started a pre-trial diversion program with our municipal court in coordination with our care office, the police department, and the municipal judge to make sure people aren't given excess, fines that are piled on top of each other, that they can make sure they get the help that they need, as opposed to just continuing the process of being able to put fines on it. So there's a big picture of a story that is more necessary to be told than just the idea that the police department did something that they do on a very regular basis throughout the entire year, not just a couple days before the regatta.